Alright, hello, and welcome back to another episode on the AthosCraft server. My name is ArseyRC, and it's been a bit of a while. Been a bit. So I have been crazy busy in real life, and so I haven't had time to do much video lately, but we have done so much on the server. And so let's have some, no spoilers, no quick peeks there. But anyway, so we are going to start this episode off with doing a bit of a summary of everything that we've been doing over the last month, basically. We've been playing a lot, but just haven't had time to do videos, and so it's time to get back into that, and so we're going to start making videos. So first of all, we are at the base here. We haven't done a whole lot at the base itself. Actually, now that I think about it, we have. Anyways, the first thing you'll notice is that we have the absence of a big purple box. If you remember in the last episode, we had our creeper farm up here, and that is now gone. So in other words, all of this needs to go at some point. Now, this is where the big city is going, so we want to make sure that we have a plan for what's going on back here. So I'm not going to tear it down yet, because we may actually use part of it. But definitely down here, the train tracks and everything, we have the collection system that we had here for collecting the gunpowder. So that and all these tracks in under here, they can all go, because it's not likely that we're going to put another thing up here. Unless we decide maybe we'll put another kind of a farm in here. Not sure. But anyways, we'll see how that goes. So that's number one. So we've taken down the creeper farm. So what did we do to replace it? Well, Alaskas and I decided to collaborate on something. And so we went ahead and built this. So we decided with the steampunk theme, with the Zeppelin here and Alaskas's base over here, and what she's working on, we decided to collaborate together and build this as our new farm. So if I fly up into here, you can see that we've got whole this area up in here. And if I go into here and I AFK right about, and anyone, there's my little lever there for AFKing. But if I go about doing this, all of a sudden we're going to see something happen here. There we go. See? They are starting to fall. And so this farm, once it gets going, is actually really, really efficient. From what I can figure, there's about 600 spawning spots available for creepers up there. It took us a long time to perfect it so that we wouldn't get skeletons and spiders and that stuff spawning in there. But eventually we did finally get that all done. And how many people are online right now? Let's have a quick look. So yeah, we got 4 people online. So it's not going to run at top efficiency, but it is going to run pretty well. And as I said, once it gets going, basically I did AFK for an overnight here, and we got about 1.5 double chests of gunpowder. So it worked it's working really well, and it's obviously better when there's less people online. So as you can see there, they're starting to go. I mean, there's the rates that we're getting, and that's pretty consistent. And if I fly down here without killing myself, I have a dropper system there. So where they fall and die, they drop, and then there's another dropper system which drops the gunpowder down, and it comes down through that hole and into this system. And as you can see here, we're doing all right for gunpowder. I also went ahead and in here built a sugarcane farm. We just fill this chest up here with bone meal, and then we turn this thing on and it goes. All right, but without the bone meal, obviously it's not going to go anywhere. But yeah, that makes it fairly easy to use, and that way we have ourselves a little mini rocket system in here. So no longer do we have to buy rockets. So both Alaskas and I have a ton of rockets. Obviously Alaskas takes this side, I take this side, and this chest drains fairly equally into those 2 hoppers, and it goes, I mean, over 2 double chests, I think we had 12 difference of gunpowder, so we're pretty happy with that. So the next part is this whole distribution system at the bottom is going to be a boat. So I think Alaskas has been working on a boat in the creative world here, trying to get it. Now that's pretty hard to build, so she's been having some difficulty coming up with a design, but I'm sure that will happen. Next thing I wanted to talk about was, if you guys remember, a couple of episodes ago, I was flying over top of Alaskas's base, showing off how great of a job she was doing on it, and I accidentally started a raid. Well, that raid seemed to affect the local snowman. Let me show you what I mean by that. So the local snowman really got upset at starting the raid in Alaskas's base here. So, and what happened is they literally attacked my base. And so not only were they all over my base over there, which the snow is now melted, but they literally took over the inside of the Zeppelin here. And so inside my Zeppelin is a ton of snow golems, and they're all over the place. So then the next thing that happened was we had a member who had been a long-term member of the server, Lyra, returned to the server. And so we were giving her a bit of a tour of the realm, and all of a sudden I forgot I had Bad Omen again from the raid farm, and I started another raid at Alaskas's base when I was doing the tour. And although we stayed and we cleaned up the raid, we obviously angered the snowmen. And so the snowmen decided here that they are going to start attacking the base. And if you look at this guy here, he's pretty ticked. And so he's pulling trees out of the ground and that, and he's throwing snowballs at my base and everything like that. So obviously had to retaliate a little bit. For the snowman or defend the base. So we called upon, if I'm lying on here without setting myself on fire? Nope, can't do it. So we called upon Diablo. So Diablo's coming from the depths of hell, is stopping the snowball. You can see the snowball's melting. There's water running down off the front of it and everything. So Diablo's coming out of the ground here to defend my base against the evil snowmen coming to destroy my base. So a little bit of fun going back and forth between Atlas and myself. Now, another thing I want to show you that we've been working on in the server is this. So Tony and I got inspired by a certain hermit on Hermitcraft who was building a minigame. So out in the minigame district, we decided to do our own. Now, we haven't gone as fast as he has, and we haven't got as much done as he has, but ours is actually bigger than his. We're going to have ours as a less complicated game, and what I'm talking about is Tango Tech's dungeon crawler that he's making. And so we've built something similar to what he's doing it's our own design and everything, for sure. It was definitely inspired by that. And so we built an entrance here, and we've gone down. I've done a ton of digging here, and so we have to decorate all this and get this all set up. But what we've done here is we've got everything all prepared. So here's the area where the members of AthosCraft here will come in, and they'll have their own little booths to collect their treasures from the dungeon and show them off. Their relics, I guess you're going to say. As you come down here, this area here, we're going to dig out this area here, and this is going to be the store, trading area, the place where you can exchange what you have and get new items and upgrades and all those kind of things. And then as you go down here, there'll be a door right in this area here, and this will be the entrance into the dungeon. Now we haven't worked out all the different aspects of it, but what we have done is we've done the majority of the digging here. So as you can see, this is a really, really large area. This is approximately 144, so it's 9 chunks by 9 chunks is what this is. And we've gone ahead and we have laid out all of the pathways. So you can see what we did is we actually put stone brick slabs where there's not going to be rooms. So this is going to be a hallway here, and that's a room and that kind of stuff. And then we just started putting black stone slabs down to stop mobs spawning. We've got a lot more digging to do. As you can see, we need to raise the roof in a few areas here. But during this dig, it worked out really great that we actually found a bunch of spawners. So there's one there, skeleton spawner. There's another couple spawners over here. We've worked out some decorations for some of the rooms. Obviously, not everything's going to be blackstone, but it was sort of what we were doing at first. There's a zombie spawner there, which worked out nicely. And I believe if I come over here a little bit, we've got another skeleton spawner right there. So we can use those to build those into the dungeon. And you can see we've got some elevation changes where we're working on trying to give some character, and this is probably about the height to which we're going to dig it out to. So we're going to have different keys and those kinds of things. So as you go through, you're going to earn different levels of keys and earn new keys. Those keys will open up different areas of the dungeon. So certain areas won't be available right away, and they will be available, and then what keys you get will open up new areas. Some treasures, for instance, you'll be able to see the treasure, but you can't get to it. We're likely going to have defenses in here against, so the rule here is you won't be able to break any blocks, so no breaking blocks in here. So the idea is that we can have lots of fun, and this is going to be long term. So if somebody new joins the server, they can come in and do it, and they don't have to feel like they're behind everybody else. Everybody else is so much ahead of them. Because you can play this as your own individual game, as a collector's game, or you can just have fun in here, or you can participate in the trading and seeing what can be done. 1.16 has come out since the last time I did a video, and so obviously a lot of changes in the Nether, but we have decided to build our Nether hub. And so as you see, I came out here in the Nether hub, and we have dug a huge hole. And not only is this a huge hole, this huge hole goes all the way from bedrock at the bottom to bedrock at the top. This is a big hole, and this took us a long time. It took us about a good 3 weeks to dig this out, with about 5 of us being fairly involved with it. And so what we are doing now is we are laying out this area, and the goal here is we've decided to take a Star Trek theme here. And so we have laid out what's going to be a Borg cube. So this here is going to be the Borg cube. So the main hub itself will be inside the Borg cube. And you can see there's the one wall, there's the other one right below me here, and then over there on Job's pathway. Those are going to be the entrances to the Borg cube from the various areas. Now, where there's portals outside the Borg cube, we're going to do things like maybe do some Federation starships, do some planets, and then the pathways can be like the beams of the Federation ships firing at the Borg cube and a bunch of different things. So lots of ideas going on here. We have set up, get over here in this maze, sort of the center area. So those sea lanterns there are in the center of the cube, and so trying to figure out what we're going to do for a central core. So I just did that quickly. It looks much better with a shader pack on, which I will be showing to you in my next video, by the way. So the shopping area, right now I come in here, it looks exactly the same, but the shopping area has gone through a huge renovation, and show you what's going on here. So what we have done is, this used to go down right to the ground here, and what we've done is we've actually dug out all the way around the town hall and lowered it so that we can actually expand the basement. This is one of my new builds here that I built. We have had a few people, we have people come and go on the server quite often. The main core of people have been the same for quite a while, but we do have people come and go. We like to recruit new members, and hopefully as we go through time, we'll get more people who are permanent on the server. And right now we've got a good core of about 14 or 15 people who have been permanent for quite some time. And so that's good. So, but when we do have people leave, we don't like it to be a free-for-all for everybody to go steal their stuff and what they have. So what we do is we claim the stuff on behalf of the realm, and then in the past we've used that stuff for community builds. But right now what we've decided is we do have a mayor now, which we'll talk about in a minute. And what we're doing is the mayor is going to be in charge of the diamonds and everything. So rather than storing all the stuff from the people who leave, which we've done in the past, and then we never end up using the stuff, so it just sits in boxes. And so we figured, let's actually make it useful this time. So what we did is we were going to have an auction, and at the last minute we decided, rather than an auction, let's make loot boxes. So what we did is I created this system here with the help of a couple of others, and we created loot boxes. We ended up creating 92 shulker boxes that were all absolutely full of random stuff. Some of them good, some of them not so good. And so we actually put them in here, and it was 1 diamond block, and you got a shulker full of stuff. And I mean, the shulker itself was worth about 6 diamonds, so 9 diamonds to get a shulker full of stuff is pretty good. And some of them were actually really good. Like there was a netherite block in one of them, for instance. The whole basement here has received a bit of a change. I'm not sold on the floor yet. This is Biggles. Biggles did a fantastic, put in a lot of work modifying this. But I'm not sold on the colors yet. I'm not sure if it quite matches everything. So we'll work on this. We'll work on this and see what we come up with. This right here is the donation boxes that we have, and this is for the board cube. So the idea is that people were going to get a prize for the people who donated the most amount of stuff. And as you can see, people here have been donating a lot of black concrete right now. I believe that's black concrete. Yeah, so black concrete. That was sort of the last thing we needed. We've basically got all the materials we need for the cube now. And then here's an update on the map. So we're on the purple island right there, which is the shopping district. And then you can see up here, this is medieval in this area. This is the industrial zone. This is fantasy. This is the minigame district right here. That's the Redstone Academy that you see. This is the steampunk, and that green dot right there is my base. There's Alaskas's base. This is the new Pokemon area that hasn't really had a lot of builds in it yet, but we can take a look at that next episode. And then this is the modern district here that Tony's been working on with the roads and those kind of things. A couple of new members have joined, so Iska and Jordan. Iska's been working on this area here, which is the main town for the medieval area, and I believe he's already started a cathedral, and that's going to be exciting. And then Jordan, I believe, has gone to the snow biome down here, as has Lyra. So interesting there. Garth's base there and the futuristic. Then this is the futuristic city here. I didn't realize where they'd put it. They've sort of encroached upon the pirate area here. So hopefully DC makes sure that when this gets expanded, it actually expands to the southwest and does not go any north or east any. Otherwise, it will be in the pirate district here. This is a mob farm here by Garth, and Garth's been told gently that that farm either has to move or he has to decorate it like a pirate. So something like that. But yeah. We had to redo the post office because that was a big thing. So we actually, Biggles and I spent a bunch of time here and we decorated the post office up and made it up. Look, I've got some mail. Oh, somebody just put a bunch of junk in my mailbox. Thank you. Other thing that you haven't seen yet, and one of the things that you've probably noticed as I've been talking here is I've been killing mushrooms. And that is because we added a couple of packs to the server. And one of the packs that we added was mob heads. So we now have mob heads on the server. So I don't know if I showed this before, but this is a store that I had made for future consideration. And so if you look through I gotta cut the bamboo off, it's too big. But this is actually a panda head here. And if we go inside, I can show you, yeah, look at the mob heads we have on the server now. It's pretty awesome. So all credit to Foxy Noto and his group for coming up with the initial pack. We are expanding upon that pack and adding our own stuff as we speak to this pack. But for the most part, we started off with Foxy Noto. So definitely give him credit for that. So you can see like the witch head and the Ravager heads are just really, really nice. But my raid farm, which I've had to upgrade for 1.16, but we got it back up and running. You can see I've been getting lots and lots of heads. The rarest one on the server is definitely Enderman. It's about a 1 in 2,000 chance to get an Enderman head. And unless you have an Enderman farm, which I do. So I went out to the Enderman farm and killed Enderman for about a half an hour and filled 3 double chests of ender pearls from the farm and never got a single Enderman head. So I'm gonna have to do that again because that's about 1,000 Endermen I killed. We had to, as part of the town hall renovation, we ended up having that my store was floating, my bookstore was floating in the air. So we ended up, ended up having to modify it. So I had actually ended up adding a bottom floor to it. So the actual original bookstore is up here as the second floor now. And so I decided to put in a nice modern design. Credit to the inspiration for this was B-Dubs and his lighting shop. Fantastic. I love B-Dubs builds. And if I can do half as good as he does, then I feel really, really good. So yeah, so doing this, and what we're selling in here are all the leather, books, paper products. So if you need books, there's all kinds of books in here. You can see I've already been selling some. Item frames, paper, bookshelves. There you go, sold some of those, and then leather as well. I haven't decided on a sixth item yet. If anybody has any ideas what the sixth item could be, comments would be great. And then as you come up here, you can see the original bookstore is here. Now the bookstore has been upgraded, so we definitely are selling new things. We have separated out projection, blast, depth strider. We've added soul speed here, which has been selling a little bit, and we also moved mending to the middle because it was here, but that's where the door is now. And then we've been getting a lot of cursed books. Cursed books have started dropping as part of 1.116. So we essentially now are selling those. So if anybody wants to prank or do things like that, yeah, there's cursed books in here for that purpose. Yeah, so lots of upgrades and benefits here. You can see over here, I believe this is Darth Angelo building this building here. It looks pretty good. Looks very similar to a green barge build. Hermitcraft obviously has a huge influence on everybody, and we take inspiration from them, so all credit to them. Oh, I think that just about covers almost everything, with the exception of where we left off in the last episode, which was the mayoral race. And so we had, in the last episode, we had the count, and we had done it on a live stream. And unfortunately, Tony had been eliminated from the mayor race, and we had Solar and Biggles left. Unfortunately, about 2 or 3 days after that, Solar ended up leaving the server unexpectedly. So we had to sort of scramble and find out what we're going to do. So what we decided to do was bring Tony back into the mayoral race and have a final round with just Biggles and Tony. And the winner was... Oh, Tony put a bunch of signs back up in there. But anyways, the winner was Biggles. So Biggles ended up winning the mayoral race, and he is now the mayor. Congratulations, Mr. Biggles, Mayor Biggles. So Mayor Biggles went ahead, and in the town hall, I need to jump. Crash, bang, good flying. But in the town hall, Mr. Mayor... go up, it'll be over here. There we go. Has already sort of moved in, and he's built himself an office with a big conference table here and his own little personal office. And I believe he's got a desk outside the front for his assistant, who is Kevin, which we have to move over here at some point. We've gone ahead and moved the Ender Dragon egg here, although it's really small, like compared to the building. So we may have to maybe build a bigger one to simulate it, and maybe store the egg inside the bigger one, so a little better. So that's a huge wrap up to what's been going on, and that's probably going to use up most of the episode here, but I do have a treat for you guys, which I'm going to show in another episode, which I'm probably going to release really quickly after this one. Anyways, that's all the time we've got for today. So again, congratulations to Mayor Biggles, and we will catch you guys in the next one.